What's up, guys? Iceman here. Welcome to the Diablo 4 Research Institution. Appreciate you guys coming by. Like this damn video if you will. Subscribe to the page and swat that bell so you're notified next time I post a video. And blessings to my patrons. May you have many wives. Links in the description below. Wow. What an interesting time it is to live, isn't it? As a video gamer, we have now Diablo 4 Season 5 and the expansion right around the corner. Wow. Let me know if you guys have been playing Season 5, Diablo 4. You know, I started as the druid, a Cataclysm Storm build, and I knew it wasn't necessarily optimal, but you did, however, feel like a god. Walking around with your staff, holding it out like this, and just lightning. Cataclysm. Tornadoes just popping all over the place. Couple wolves, couple ravens, but their damage sucked big you know what. So it wasn't really worth it. I wanted to have a summoner, but it doesn't really work out all that well with the druid. So that was my dire mistake. And then I went back to my roots. Yeah. Necromancer. And I got her to level 87, 88, something like that. I haven't played in several days, and now I'm like, I wonder if I should just wait till the expansion. The expansion, of course, rumor has it that there's going to be a level 60 cap. Some people are speculative that they're going to bring down the numbers some, so we're not working with those billions and billions of like critical hits and all that. But I mean, I can't imagine Blizzard fixing that. But maybe they will. I mean, that would be nice if they did. But it's just, I don't know. It seems like it's a big deal today, and as it's been for the last 10 years at least, to have just really big numbers on the screen. Somehow they think that's alluring to people, but it's not. But that's fine. But yeah, I'm a necromancer, summoner. Big ass two-handed scythe. Only a few greater affix items. The spiritual journey continues for her. Not a single mythic item have I found. Season 5 thus far. Infernal Horde's pretty good time. She looks okay. You know, this is a step forward compared to D2R, I would say. The character aesthetics. I mean, there's a lot of misses. You know, they need more customization. I mean, what's her finger digit ratio? Brings up some questions. The rigid cheekbones and brow line here. It's like, what the hell's going on here with that woman? But nonetheless, she looks okay. You know, she kind of reminds me of a gothic bitch that you'd see in the malls in the early 2000s. You guys remember the shopping malls? Used to go to those. My dogs and I would take the dial-a-bus to the shopping malls. We were like 15, 16 years old. It was interesting. We get pizza, get a shake, check out the video game store, this, that, and the third, get some steps in. But yeah, nonetheless, that's kind of what she reminds me of. Some shopping mall gothic bitch. He doesn't see the sun very often, but nonetheless, the expansion is upon us. And I just saw a video by Riker. I only watched a little bit of it. But I noticed that in the thumbnail, he sort of teased the concept or idea of potential rune words being added to the game. And I know this is something that I've been bitching about for a while. I've been saying, well, the game needs chase items, and I know that they had them before, the super rare uniques that weren't that good anyway, but even with that being said, everybody bitched that they couldn't find them. So Blizzard, of course, inclined their ear and just made them abundant and available, even though they weren't even good. Didn't make any fucking sense, but that's what happened. People just want things that they can't have. But nonetheless, with this implication, it could, I think, be an interesting concept. And there's nothing really like playing Diablo 2, knowing that no matter what you're doing, no matter where you're at, there's always that potential euphoric moment right around the corner where you could find a rune. Now, the runes are good because they had so much versatility about them. It wasn't just finding like Ethereal's Might, like today in D4, where you know exactly what you're going to do with it and either your build can use it or it can't. The runes were interesting because if you found a Burr rune, for example, you'd be like, oh, wow, Burr rune, that's one of the best runes. Some people don't find one of these and they play for like months and months straight, and I just found one. You're like, wow, I could almost make an infinity with this if I find another. And then it'll be game changing. My mercenary will have a conviction aura under his feet, breaking the shit out of resistances, piercing enemy immunities, and so forth. Not that they exist in Diablo 4, but auras would be an interesting implementation. Something I think that could add to the game and the experience and all that. But that was the fun part, is you're like, wow, I found a Burr rune. I can make an infinity with this, or I could make a Chains of Honor armor, and then my character will have 2-to-all skills, 200% damage to demons, 100% damage to undead, some damage reduction, some magic find. What a godly body armor that is. Or you could say, or I could make a beast, Zerkarax, if I find more runes with this Burr rune. In which case, my character of any type can morph into werebear form, and how godly that would be with certain niche builds are just fun. It's not really godly or the best, but I mean, it's interesting, it's a fun concept. And then it has the fanaticism aura. You're like, wow, I can make a beast and give it to my mercenary. And as a summon necro, all my minions will take advantage of that aura, the fanaticism aura that gives added attack speed, added attack rating, chance to hit. Not that that exists in Diablo 4, but enhanced damage as well. So enhanced damage and attack speed. You see what I'm saying? So just off the top of my head, I listed like 3 options you could do with that rune. And then the fourth one is simple. You could be like, oh, or I could just save it. I could put it in my stash, and this thing is valuable. They had intrinsic value about them. So they were kind of things that you would just collect. And I remember often just collecting them. And that was fun. Like I'd have a little section in my stash where I'd put my best runes. And just how nice it looked there. And then you just knew that you had some wealth about you. And you're like, yeah, I could trade this. I could put it on the marketplace if you did that. Or I could just save it to make a rune word, things like that. So it's just, that's why the runes are so interesting, because of the versatility. You know what I mean? And there's nothing else in the game. There's nothing in the game right now that does that. In Diablo 4, it's either for this purpose and it's good, or it's bad. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. It's not like the runes where you could do various things with them, and they're just intrinsic value as their own, and almost all characters could use them. And that's another fun thing about it, is you could be playing with your sorceress, and you could find a rune, and you could use that on a different character. Right now, gear is so centered around the character you're playing that you rarely ever find anything that another character could use. But with runes, it kind of opens that up. With no matter what character you're playing with, you just know you could potentially find something that's very versatile, very marketable, very tradable, and intertwined with intrinsic value. You know what I mean? So that's why the runes were so interesting. And I think this would be good. Now, I didn't really watch the whole video. I don't know if that was just some if that was a stretch to assume that they might add runes in Diablo 4. I don't know. But I mean, if they do, I think that's what they should do with them, is make them similar to how they were in D2. And how that worked is you'd find the white items, you know what I mean, the base items that aren't worth shit in Diablo 4. That's another big problem with Diablo 4, is the magics, rares, and just plain items are completely worthless. There's just no use about them but just grinding them down into materials, you know what I mean? Later in the game, just nobody uses any of them. And this could be a step in the direction of making a sort of chase for the white items. And of course, in Diablo 2, they took it a step further. And they were like, well, 1 out of 10 of all these items can roll ethereal, meaning it couldn't be repaired, but it did more damage or it had more defense if it were in armor. So the purpose of that is you could put those ethereal items on your mercenary and they wouldn't break on the mercenary, because mercenaries didn't lose durability back then. They still might not in Diablo 4, I don't know. Or there were a good amount of rune words that had the indestructible mod attached to them when you made them. So you'd seek out an ethereal cryptic axe, you know what I mean? Or that's a bad example. You'd seek out an ethereal whatever else, berserker axe, for a breath of the dying rune word, because that had the indestructible mod on it, or a death rune word. Make it in a freaking Colossus sword or Colossus blade or whatever the hell they are. And just how godly you could be possessing something like that. But I mean, yeah, that's kind of why I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to add rune words into Diablo 4 for those reasons. But let me know what you guys think about that. Is that a good idea? Is that something that you wouldn't mind seeing in D4? Now, the expansion's around the corner. I am going to get it. I'll probably start as Necromancer. I'm not going to make the same mistake I made Season 5 this time around. I'm going to go with the class that I know I enjoy. I love the Necromancer. I love having the minions do most of your work. You can have another screen up and just watch YouTube videos or something while you're playing. It's chill. And it's a good time. And I think, aesthetically speaking, the female Necromancer is the best looking character in the game. I know that's not saying much, but that's just my opinion, and I know a lot of you guys would probably agree with me on that. But we're not going to go there too much right now. I bitch about that stuff enough in my previous videos. But yeah, I am going to get the expansion. I'll probably run as the Necromancer, and I'm fixing to have a spiritual journey. I would like to have more stash tabs. There's some rumors that they're working on that, but there's also rumors that they can't add more stash tabs because of the way the game was made. But again, this is a good time to be a gamer. PoE 2, Path of Exile 2 is on the way, right? What is that, a November release or something? Is it October? I can't recall. Can you guys let me know in the comments? When does PoE 2 come out? But I intend to play that as well. Check that out. I think that's going to be interesting. Looks like a great game. I do have a Nintendo Switch. I don't really play it much. I haven't played it in like a year plus. But, man, I've been waiting for them to remaster Ocarina of Time. You guys ever play that Zelda game? Just love that game, Ocarina of Time. But that's kind of where I'm at right now with Diablo 4 and the Diablo 4 stuff. I'll probably pick it up and play it again in a couple days. At this point, it doesn't really matter to me how late it is in the season. I mean, I really don't play with other folks anyway. So a lot of that is just like envy and the fear of missing out as to why I think we're so inclined to play right in the ladder resets. And plus, it is fun starting over. I really like that aspect of it. I know some of you guys say, oh, I hate it how we have to start over with the seasons and then you have to work it all over again. But I mean, the Ascension, I think, is the fun factor of this game. You know, and the further along you get in there, the less ascending you're doing. You know what I mean? You get to the point where it's almost a standstill, where it takes a long time to find any upgrades, things like that. So yeah, the Ascension is great, which is why I always liked Diablo 2 on the ladder reset. When you start the beginning of the game with nothing but a club in hand, beating demons over the head. with the damn thing, hoping to find an upgrade, because like everything's an upgrade at that point. And you never know what's around the corner with the randomness, the itemization. So yeah, it's a true spiritual journey, and I love the ladder resets on the other hand. So I mean, I'm going to be playing it, going to be playing the expansion. Let me know if you guys are going to be getting the expansion. What are your plans with it? What character are you going to start as? And do you think rune words should be added? Some folks want loadouts as well. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are on those matters, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace be with you.